and IO, but you never can tell. It might just be the strength morphling and IO does his thing on the top and mid lane. So we'll see. But it should be a pretty interesting game no matter how it pans out. I mean, we've got two amazing teams on our hands. HGT, they may have been kind of taken in by Vici's strategy in the first game, but they are no slouches. These guys can really bring it back the other way in the right situation, and I'm expecting some big things from Kaka's Bounty Hunter this time. It's not going to be overshadowed by everything that's happening on the other side of the map. So we'll see. For right now, it's going to be the tether movement that gets them their ward down. The Morphling is, generally speaking, very slow, 285 base movement speed, but with the tether help, he's going to be able to make his way to place out at least a decent ward here. Not too bad. Not too ambitious, but sees what they need to see. The rune spawn, and up to this point here, as far as their western flank. So, not too bad. As far as counting things out, ZSMJ and Pretty Haw are making their move here. They're going to have this kind of double stun composition that makes it very difficult to be aggressive against. Essentially, though, they're not really leading with anything other than right clicks from Pretty Haw. Like, he can go ahead right click as long as he feels like, but not going to be finding anything as far as easy kills unless Vici start getting aggressive. So looking at opening items here, we're going to be seeing HGT. They've got a couple of stout shields. The offlane Spirit Breaker needs one. Oh, they're actually contesting the both bounty runes. This is very dangerous here. I'm going to look at I think they got the top one. We'll look at bottom. ZSMJ goes for the stomp and claims the bounty rune. And the reason I say that's dangerous is because of how reliant IO is on that bounty rune. If he gets the bounty rune the way he intends to, then he suddenly has a bottle instantly and can do a lot more with his early game. Instead, he's going to be waiting about 30-40 seconds here, getting the bottle out late, and then Super, who also needs a bottle, is going to have to use the Courier at pretty much the exact same time. So Super's bottle is slightly delayed, but still, they get him the bounty rune nevertheless, and they're going to have two bottles on the donkey at the same time. So here we are on the bottom lane. Pretty Haw going to be able to zone out Isis Ice pretty well here. And he's got Waveform and Mangoes first. So I was talking about the problems with HP. Well, Mangoes are the solution here. And he's still trading hits. He knows that once the Light Strike Ray is gone, as long as Centaur doesn't have the Stomp mana, which obviously he used on the bottom lane, Isis is fine. And he knows it. So the Mangoes will bring him back up. And this allows him to play around with his stats a little bit more. He'll just gradually morph into strength. He doesn't really need to like commit to it hardcore. And it should work out pretty well for him. Early last hit's going in for air for now, but we're going to see Breathe Fire make that more difficult, and he's probably going to have to avoid some last hits, as you can see. Still, got to see up top some pressure out here. Westbrook is in position to charge, and they're going to go for Fenrir. Will the Earth Spike come out in time? No, he misses it! Fenrir with critical miss! Oh, he rolls a 1 on his D20. He goes the wrong vector, and Westbrook claims his life. Fenrir feeding first blood mid. Pressure from Super, but that's just because he's got that extra bottle regen now. Meantime, FY, he has made his way down bottom. They want to collaborate. Isis Ice and FY can do some really good stuff here now that FY has his bottle. I think they were looking to do this sooner, but again, the bounty rune down bottom got claimed by the Centaur. So they'll just snatch some creeps, cause some problems, give them the rough and tumble. And we're actually going to see, yeah, Waveform pass, tether through. This seems like a pretty standard combo, but the Light Strike Ray will connect on the web. So 1 or 2 less right clicks coming in there, and ZSMJ, Waveform tether, that's a pretty standard combo, but we'll see how they follow through. Pretty Haw, they want him, but ZSMJ hits with a stun, hits with a double edge. FY going to have to bottle pretty soon, but Waveform pass, Pretty Haw will be the second life claimed, and FY's bottle keeps him alive. The creeps will hurt, the creeps will frustrate, but FY, he might make it out. 295 MS versus 300, but he gets the bounty rune and just starts bottle sipping through. So he'll be alright. He'll tether back up to Ice. And at level 2, he can actually give him a refresher on his mana pool. So, with the second waveform forward, Ice is able to get a kill for himself in the offlane and looking pretty good. He also has Mango, so he can always go for the next wave if he needs it. But ideally, FY uses Spirits, tethers to Ice, and bottle sips him up. And then they can go in. But it looks like they'll just be happy with harassment and taking the creeps. Oh wow, Air is doing so well on this mid lane though. I feel like Dragon Knight got a lot of really critical buffs when it comes to the laning phase, 1v1, but Air, obviously he's just saying, I don't really care about that, I'm still going to be able to control this lane really well. And it seems to be the case. Obviously, we've seen pretty much passivity ensue since the top lane kill, the first blood. Just obviously XCT wants to find an opening, but just bit by bit, getting in some Orb of Venom, harassment, some Janata strikes, that's going to be plenty for them. And let's see Gondar max the Shuriken toss from here. Gonna see the Sentry Ward come out, but it's a little late. Fenrir can't stun them out. They can only stun one. They'll hex the other one, but the Orb of Venom slow. The last bash right click. FY's rotation is just a moment too slow, and they're not able to heal up the line in time. So, Sentry Ward will not scout out Kaka. He'll stay to the west, and with that, they get another kill on the Lion. He's having a really tough time. Generally speaking, I would say Lion should be able to manage this pretty well, but he just doesn't see these charges coming. They go through the tree line, and they just pin him down. Now with the help of FY, Superman's up on air, but the charge is coming against him, so although he's hasted, he's got a DD rune too, he still is going to get stunned out, and they're going to look for the Void kill. One more hit, and they get him. Oh, man. That is a huge kill against Super, but they do get one against Kaka pretty high in the process, so good movement there from Ice. It looks like the rune, I don't even know where that, but I think the bounty rune was denied. I think one of them actually attacked it and killed off the 4-minute bounty rune spawn. But anyways, and Kaka trading bottles most likely. Yeah, there we go. Now air is full. Abuse. But yeah. No, this early game is being very interesting. I mean, this has been a 4-minute game, guys. This doesn't feel like a 4-minute game. There's so much going on, so much action across the map. And a very aggressive bounty hunter getting punished under a Sentry Ward. But like every single lane you see in action, I think I've caught most of it, but it's been very interesting, guys. This is a wild ride, and we're just 1 minute into the first night. This is where Air really wants to get involved, wants to look for a kill on the Phantom Lancer. How has the doppel, so should be all right. Creep wave, not gonna see. They are gonna see Westbrook. This is gonna take aggro. Oh, that's not good. Taking aggro really means that you're gonna be able to clear these creeps, but you're not actually gonna be able to gank on the top lane. So we look at bottom. There was a stun combo there. The Light Strike Array connected, and they followed up with the Hoof Stomp. As you can see, he has no mana now. We're going to see rotation onto mid. Super pretty tanky, especially with FY behind him. Overcharge, 2 bottle sips, and a magic stick. Super should be fine, and they'll actually look to turn it around. There are 3 heroes there, so they got to watch out. But it looks like, again, Dragon Knight will be fine under tower. Ice goes back to the lane. Yeah, he brings more strength this time around. He was running pretty squishy previously, but he needs a little bit more HP. Fun to see the Orb of Venom, though. I have no idea if that will ever turn into a Scotty, but maybe one day. It's a Scotty Jr. We're going to see Kaka rotate around. Fenrir going to pretty much guaranteed die. Like, he doesn't see this coming. He gets all the hits against him, and he doesn't get to cast the spell. Oh, that's so sad. Now we see the rotation, though. Going and looking to start out the Centaur, I believe. Dragon Knight is very tanky here, looking for the play, but we'll see the rotations perhaps come through. There's a lot of TP rotation potential. The Stampede will be useless, though, as the Dragon Tail locks him in. They adaptive strike the waveform. They keep diving. Where are the TPs? Nobody's coming to help ZSMJ, but he might not need it. He'll live. He'll live with 65 HP. Tranquil, Magic Stick, and TP away, and he'll be fine. Meanwhile, Hao is being dove. That's why they're not TPing. They're diving the other tower at the same exact time. Hao juking as best he can. The Doppelganger gets him out. And FY can't really do much but ward them off as they push the tier 1 tower down bottom. So we're going to see not only does the kill succeed down on the bottom lane, but they get the tower as well. And that is a really big feat. Well, FY kind of chills out here, gets a little bit of experience solo from the creep waves, but has to back off before he gets jumped. A very gank-minded lineup coming in from HGT. And we'll just, look at the kill at KDA. Covering that. 3-0-1 for the Spear Breaker. 2-1-0 for Ice. And we're going to see the stuns come out against Ice, but actually they don't connect with anything. Light Strike Ray misses, and now without that, we're going to see the jump. Pretty Hog gets stunned out. ×2. That's going to be 1 kill. They're looking for another one, but the adaptive is on level 3, and the strength to agi ratio isn't net positive before the stun. Soul Ring coming out for Ice. He will be tapping more into strength now, especially as he approaches level 7. So we'll see that here. So ideally you have 50% more strength than agility when you go in for these stun plays. And we're going to see him Soul Ring to actually get that extra strength here, and that's going to be very nice. So yeah, he definitely has the 50% advantage now. These stuns are going to be lasting a long time. 3¼ stuns coming in from the Strength Morphling, and he's got his Strength with Soul Ring. The only items you really need of this hero to get rolling. The Orb of Venom is cute though. So we have 750 net worth advantage for Vici Gaming right now. I think that's going to shift. I think that we're going to see a lot more momentum built for them as they look for the next tier 1 tower, and it's going to be harder and harder for Vici or for HGT to hold position. But we'll see. Maybe they find a nice kill on Ice. If he can't waveform TP away, he is kind of in a precarious position. We'll see up top though. They're going to go on to How. Will they be able to get him despite the doppelganger? No, he doppels immediately and he's gone. Like, there's no way that gank happens now. Air wants to dive it, though, with the phase boost. They bring in the Wisp. F-Blast a new target, but on the tower, they're taking too much damage. A long adaptive strike makes, again, the Stampede completely useless, and that's just going to be the cleanup on to the Lina. They'll actually get the Lance onto Westbrook, so we'll continue to watch that. And with one more waveform across, or just the adaptive strike, they'll be able to bring Westbrook down. So, good play there, good pursuit, and a 7-5 double kill for Hal. Wow, really big momentum shift for him. He's only been able to farm 46 last hits. It's far and above anybody else, but still, he's been under some pressure, and the kills really make up for that. And now, like I said, we're going to see this turn. We started at 750, but they doubled it up within a minute. We're going to see them build momentum with this Ice adaptive strike. Like, it's a projectile now. As you can see, there was a little kind of wisp of water there, but we're going to see an attempt on Hal's life, maybe. They feel confident in it. Yeah, they need +1. They need the Spirit Breaker to charge through. And there's another charge. There's another stun.
Tower is under attack.
Kaka stocking up the Wisp would be a really good hit. Janata against a 0 armor target, he'll drop fast, but Super's here with the stun. They ping it out. They saw the Wisp ball strike, so they know there's going to be a fight. Who are they going to go on now? FY's the focus. He'll go down first, but they're going to turn it around with a couple of major stuns here. Onto Air, locked down for such a long time, and he will fall. How's next? They charge him, but he topples onto the cliff. He'll survive up on the cliff and lands down to help the rest. 2v2, but Fenrir's coming in, gets the Hex out, gets the Earth Spike, and Spirit Breaker is looking to fall. Nice Breathe Fire to finish the job, and they'll just TP away. Kaka can do nothing but watch them retreat. So How did doppel up to the cliff, but TP's out after he makes his contribution, and suddenly things just keep turning in favor of Vici Gaming. They're really able to fight so well right now with all the disabled they bring. If you just like run some of the numbers here, they've got a 2.5 second stun from the Dragonite. They've got a 4.25 second stun from the Morphling, only a 10-second cooldown. Guess I should have mentioned the 12 seconds for the Dragon Tail. Then you've also got the Earth Spike and Hex, which add up 2 seconds and 2.5. Like, those are it's just chain stun central coming in from Vici Gaming. And of course, they've got some decent magical damage to follow it through, especially when the Finger of Death comes out for Fenrir. Speaking of Fenrir, gonna be eating some damage now. They know he has no mana. They have sight on him, but they won't follow through with the charge.
Endurance run.
So, just momentum, 3,500 net worth for Vici Gaming, 3,000, another small calm before the storm, and we're going to see a lot more fight break out very shortly. I mean, we do see the Blink Dart coming out for HGT, so there is still some hope. Hyperglory team can initiate pretty well with the Centaur Stomp. And another cool aspect of it is that he won't have to worry about being adaptive struck when he goes for Blink Initiation. The old Morphling, if you blink into him, he's going to immediately adaptive strike before he can even hoof stomp. But because of the projectile that we're seeing, or barely seeing, I'm not sure if the stream quality is good enough to show the little tiny wisp of projectile it actually gives an animation for, but yeah, if the projectile is distant enough, ZSMJ will still get the stun off unless the Hex or the Dragon Tail comes out. So it just depends on who he's jumping. If he's jumping a solo target, there's a few that might be able to respond, there's a few that won't. They go for the smoke play though. If they find somebody here, it would be big. How can he get the doppel off? This is huge. They have vision on him. He's just falling back. How will he get it? The Hope Stomp connects, and 1 stun means 2, means 3, means death. How will be killed off, and there's the stack here if they want it. And meanwhile, in mid, there is the death of the Night Stalker. They just jump in, easy adaptive strike, easy Dragon Tail, easy kill. They actually relocate in the Wisp, or the Wisp and the Morphing for that matter. They leave Ice behind though for this fight. Awkward position to be in, but they stampede. This should be HGT's fight. They do a lot of damage initially, but a nice Earth Spike turns it around. 2-man Earth Spike. Westbrook charge the darkness away, and that will conclude that. Kaka gonna be pushed back. Dragonite getting the last hit on the tower. So it ends up being a 2-for-1 for that part of the fight. 1-for-1 really. I don't know. I would say it's just 1-0 with the tower going down. That's probably the best way to describe it. A lot of stuff happening all at once. But we see Westbrook going down. The charge gonna peel him out, and the Earner Shadow is not gonna be enough to take him down. Oh, the Spirit's almost actually getting him, but no. So, that's going to be how to push on the tower. Again, yeah, Centaur was really the only casualty in the mid-exchange. And then, of course, they go for the tower, but Super finds a flank onto Kaka, and they're going to bring him down. He can't invis out in time, and oh, Centaur, blink, no, ZSMJ almost gets caught out too. These stuns are in such a short cooldown, they can just keep spamming, and if you're out of position for even a second, they can punish you so heavily. Vici Gaming pushing onto this tier 1 tower, but another strike comes forward. Oh, a tap the strike to cancel it, and breathe fire onto them all. So they take the tower, and I think they fall back from here. They're kind of hurting for mana, but they connect with the Spirit Lance on the waveform, and there's another adaptive strike coming through. They are going to lose one here, it looks like, unless, oh yeah, with the Crippling Fear, the Replicant expires, but they're still chasing. They still have enough magic. And Westbrook's going to get caught out on the flank, so ZSMJ stampeding out, will fall to this Spirit Lance, and then back on the back end, Spirit Breaker will fall to the 2 supports. Now we see Kaka throwing out track after track, trying to at least give the movement speed boost, if not the gold, but they're just all full HP, ready to keep fighting, and obviously take more and more as far as the towers go. All the tier 1s have fallen. This will be the last cliff for some time, and it's still going to be the tier 2 falling, it looks like. Adaptive strike onto Kaka. He's not in biz. They will be able to chain it up with the Spirit Lance, with the right clicks, and finish him off just barely. Nice silence on the Super. It really did give him a better chance of surviving there, but in the end, the chance is not enough. They need something more. This is just getting ugly quickly. Westbrook getting caught out. He has the Charge of Darkness. We'll see where he goes with it. Oh, doesn't even get the chance. They just have too much stun. They lock you out once, they lock you out thrice. This is just disastrous for HGT. They just cannot make a single misstep against this kind of a lineup, or they get just completely destroyed. They need to rush BKB on the Night Stalker again. I felt bad that he had to do it the first game, but 2 games in a row, Air is going to have to rush a BKB if he has any chance of participating in these fights. Dragonite already has it. While Air's looking at an Ogre Club and 400 gold, the Dragonite is sitting on a full BKB. They know that the game is all about the here and now. They don't care about what happens after they use 5 or 6 BKB charges. Because, generally speaking, you hesitate. You're like, oh man, the recipe doesn't even give me a boost in my stats. It's just the Ogre Club and Hammer just slammed together. And then it gets weaker as I use it. So you usually want to say that's my 3rd or 4th item. But this game, it doesn't matter. It's all about the here and now. It's all about this second. The game won't last long enough to use that BKB more than 3 times. At this rate, anyways. But let's see, they want to bring it back. We're going to see the attempt to stop a Super with the quick BKB. The adaptive strike against ZSMJ. He'll have to stampede again if he wants to make a clean escape. But Ice right now getting caught out. Nether struck, and he will strength morph through it, almost surviving. If that was a level 3 strength morph, I believe he lives. But he went for the waveform to make sure he could contribute damage to this game. And as a result, he narrowly falls. Still, 4, 2, and 10. He's looking pretty good. I didn't really get a chance to talk about his progression, item-wise. He's just the most interesting. I was talking about this when like the second week of Strength Morphling, and everybody was going for, like, Shiva's Guard and Yule's Scepter, and all these extra utility items, Blink Dagger, of course, on the Morphling. And it was still kind of a suboptimal build in my mind. I'm like, okay, well, you want to do more with this hero. You want to make him something more than just a blink stun. And I believe the Hand of Midas is the answer to that. And Morphling, because when he goes strength, he can't farm. He does 40 right-click damage very slowly, so he can't farm. Actually going to see a engagement up top. We'll hold that thought. Westbrook might look for a charge, but oh, how? Moving very far forward, and they're just going to stampede out. The relocate scares him off. Infirmary does not have the blink dagger yet, so there shouldn't be any successful kills here, but they do get the dust. Drums of Endurance almost actually catches him out, but he will escape, or play some games with him at the very least. So, yeah, the Hand of Midas allows him to build up his farm without flash farming. He gets to, without getting any creeps past the laning stage, still be able to build himself up to higher levels, higher gold, and then go for those higher utility items. And we're going to see actually a pretty good strike onto Air. He's tanky though. He won't be going down. And they actually pick up FY over here. So the Lina combos up her spells. Doesn't use the Light Shark Array, but, or sorry, the Laguna Blade, but she does bring him down. Kaka is going to be able to invis out here. Super caught in the stomp. Nice stomp coming in from ZSMJ. And they just kind of force him back to the base. Ice living on his last spell with the Soul Ring. They get the tower though. Morphling last hits it, and man, down goes the bull. Mr. Spirit Breaker falling in. Really wanted to kill Fenrir. It looks like Pretty Hell will get it at the cost of the play. Super BKBs though, so that's something at the least. So, right now, momentum has kind of stagnated here. We're at 12,000 for Vici Gaming. They've taken a lot of towers, but they're not breaking the base quite yet. So they're going to kind of go back to farming a little bit, get like 1 or 2 more items, and then go in for another full volley with all their HP and mana. And with this point booster drop, you can actually get a lot of mana out of this Soul Ring, and he's going to use it to morph his strength, his agility a little bit, since he's going to have that Ogre Club soon. So, utility items, utility items, utility items. I've been using that as a vague descriptor because I've been leading into what's coming next. Ice 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 is building the Aghanim Scepter on the Morphling. So he's going to use this new ability, I believe it's called Hybrid. I've never seen it in action. But essentially to copy one of his allies and to create temporarily a second extra hero. So not only can he just jump into a fight with a waveform adaptive strike, but then he uses the hybrid to become Dragon Knight or Phantom Lancer and do what he can there. We'll see, but right now it's going to be a pickoff on the Bounty Hunter, good Observer Ward, and good relocate play. But yeah, so I'm really excited to see this. It's going to be not even 800 gold away as he clears out some more creeps, and Midas is up. Now down to 600. Tower makes it about 550. So we're going to see this. Hopefully we're going to see this Aghanim Scepter effect, and we'll actually get to kind of get something more than just on paper about this item. See how really valuable it can be. Actually going to be a nice stun coming in from ZSMJ though. Light Strike Ray hitting onto 2. They evaporate super, and they kill off Ice Ice Ice. So really great initiation from ZSMJ. They still get the tower. Vici Gaming will retreat, but that's still 2 kills that they really needed. Look at the comeback gold on this. 2750. They each lose nearly 800 total. And then 38-24 on the experience. Now we see the charge onto FY. Not really much he can do about this. The Spirit Breaker is going to stay on top of him for a long, long time. To look for the tether onto the creep wave, and they still have the track. They'll get a double shuriken here as well as the double stomp, and try to burst down Fenrir as well. Gonna finish him off with Westbrook's bash and a doppelganger for how can he finish CSMJ off? He wants it, but the lance shifts onto Kaka instead. So everybody disengages. A good run for HGT though. They kill everybody but the Phantom Lancer there. Really good movement. And the X Scepter is going to be the next item for Centaur. Despite all these stuns against him, he's not going BKB. I'm not sure if the Axe is that good. Maybe it'll save an ally that's stunned though. That's an idea. If somebody's caught within Dragon Tail and the Adaptive Strike and the Lion Chain stun, generally speaking, there's no hope for them. You have to nether swap them out, you have to give them Repel or Aphotic Shield to save their life. And with those 3 heroes not in this game, I guess their best response is to just give them the ultimate. Give them the 70% damage reduction and hope they can live through that. But, yeah, we'll see. Obviously that means he has to be very careful how he initiates and make sure they pop a few stuns before he actually goes into the fight at all. Until they get a minor jump back the other direction, and we'll see where that takes them. But we are also going to see, in just this 100 gold, this hybrid come into play. It doesn't work, as far as I remember, I only read the tooltip like twice, so again, I haven't seen this, but I think you can only use it when your replicant is inactive, and then you become that hero. You lose the Morphling for that 20-second period, but it doesn't matter if that hybrid dies. Along with that, since it can cast spells and attack, it actually looks like the real one to the enemy. Because they're like, oh, well, it might as well be the real one. Go for the Dragon Knight, kill him quick, and they'll try. But we're actually going to see them purge off the track and go into the pit. Nice play from Howler. But yeah, generally speaking, like you see replicants bait out a bunch of spells multiple times over. We'll just highlight over this while I talk. But generally speaking, you see the replicant bait out spells. Oh, ZSMJ charging in, gets the Adaptive Strike against him, no BKB! So he's not going to even get the hook stomp off, just barely does it. But where's that Morphling? He is a Dragon Knight, he is stunning, he is fighting, and he's going to do some work here. Kaka will fall to the hybrid and to the Finger of Death. And that's going to be a FY healing up, tethering with the hybrid to take him on a magical journey. But we'll see here. The Roshan be the prime objective. How we'll be looking for the stages, or maybe super. Either one could be benefiting from it quite a bit, but it's going to be how to pick up stages. And Morphling's back to his old thing. It does cost me 200 mana, but otherwise it's a pretty low risk ability to use. You get that pretty much outer shell as you morph into this hero. It's just really interesting. So there's the hybrid at work. He turns into a dragon. He does an extra dragon tail. So essentially the way that he wants to play the fight is he wants to start with an adaptive strike, hybrid into the Dragonite, follow through with a 3 1/4 second stun from the dragon tail, and then 20 seconds after the hybrid is used, he'll turn back into Morphling and adaptive strike again. So you're talking a lot of back-to-back disables, a ridiculous combo, and it just a draft to make it work. So we'll see how it comes into play here. And Super just gets tracked. Not a big deal. And there's a replicant. We'll take it down. I guess you could do 2 relocates at once, couldn't you? You could turn into a wisp. So the wisp tethers one guy and relocates in, and then you tether the other carry and you relocate him. That seems interesting. And then if you do it at the right time, if you wait 9 seconds into the hybrid and then you go to the relocate, you don't get back because you're no longer the wisp, right? So I think that there's a game plan where for global strat you have one person as the bait. Then you have a hybrid 9 seconds before you think the fight's gonna break out and you go for a double relocate. But we're gonna see Super jumped on, couple of stunned, a lot of good nukes, and he doesn't get the chance to use the BKB. And that's gonna be enough to force them out of here. FY, he tried to relocate Dragonite out and instead he will fall. Oh man, nice attempt. Now he's down, and Hyde's going to try to doppel away. We'll keep his Aegis intact, and it looks like he'll let him. We're going to see Ice play Pulsing Shenanigans with the Replicant, and he'll be able to jump out here. Or actually, he's a hybrid. He's a Phantom Lancer, and we'll see how that plays out. But how Fenrir and the 2 PLs going at it. The Super PL army ×2. Just building up the illusions as fast as it can be, but we are going to see the Lion die on the back end. The Spear Breaker and Bounty Hunter are able to take care of that one. So good play from XTT and Kaka there, but now Ice in his real form is being stunned up. They lose How, and I'm not sure why they tried to take this fight. As cool as the hybrid is, it's not a way you turn the engagement. As it is though, they lose the Aegis, they lose 3 heroes, and they walk away. And although it's not a clean escape, they're still not losing enough to make them worried about the current state of affairs. They still have a great mid to late game lineup. That's the power of Disable in general. Disable is an amazing thing to have in the later stages of the game, so it's great for Super to be able to be the big blue dragon very shortly. He's going to have a silver edge on top of that, so disabling passives along with the stuns and such. A quick rundown of how the Silver Edge is going to work in this game here. I'm just going to pull up a quick cheat sheet as well to make sure I'm getting it right. But you can stop Janata from critting. It still does the slow, but not the crit. You can stop Fiery Soul from stacking. She still benefits from the stacks that are already active, but it doesn't keep stacking because if she gets hit by the Silver Edge. The Hunter of the Night doesn't work as far as I know. And the Spear Breaker's Bash should stop. I think the Aura, but I'm not sure. Let me double check that. Spear Breaker. So this is kind of an informative piece just for those that don't know about this Silver Edge and break change because it is kind of new meta stuff. Spear Breaker is still disabled whether it's actively used or not. So, but it looks like he keeps the Bash. Interesting. All bashes are taken away except for no Spirit Breaker's greater bash is content. Okay, so yeah, loses the bash, loses the aura whether it's active or not, and he's a good target to Silver Edge. But of course, you can still Silver Edge, anybody and get that bonus damage, and get the reduction of the damage they can deal. Like it actually reduces a significant portion of their damage as well. Outgoing damage is reduced by 40% for that duration, which is 5 seconds, I believe. Yeah. Interesting stuff. So it's an all-around, like, all-purpose item. There's so much you can do with it, and there's very few heroes it's bad against. But it seems natural in Dragonite's progression as we see more and more Shadow Blade get picked up on this hero in general. It works really well as a strength item for him. So excited to see it in action. Along with this 6-second BKB, he can probably bring a lot to the team fight. But we are seeing some sentries come out. HCT looking for map control. Observer here, catching out the top rune, bottom rune, kind of central location, but it will expire. So they're getting good general vision where they're fighting, where Vici Gaming are taking engagements, but they don't have aggressive vision to invade the jungle. And Vici says, okay, well, we'll just wait out a row cycle. Our heroes only get better with farm. Our Phantom Lancer, our Dragonite, and of course the Morphling. If you think about it, the way these fights are going to work with the hybrid, essentially, by farming on one carry, you're farming on two. By any farm that goes to Hao and his items will empower Ice's hybrid too. So any farm that Hao gets is twice as valuable for that 20-second duration in the team fight. It is a 140-second cooldown. It doesn't work while the replicant is active. But other than that, really nothing hurting you. I wonder if Lion can manage to kill with like a regular illusion. We're gonna see Super with a very fast BKB. They push in. The Glimmer Cape keeps the SMJ in the fight for now. But we're gonna see on the backline them just going for Fenrir. He'll be relocated out. They can't finish him off just yet. Fenrir survives thanks to FY, and we're going for full zoom out here. Looking at the lances, looking at the purge onto Westbrook, and he will fall. And the relocate bounces Fenrir back. A great relocate save from FY. You usually look for that on the carries, but they say screw that. Ice did use his hybrid there onto the Dragon Knight. Not too much effect, but still he's back in his Morphling form. And we do see ZSMJ blinking and getting us nice stun. It's a two-man stun onto FY. He'll go down, but Pretty Hot will be stunned out by the adaptive strike and nuked down by the Figure of Death. Oh man, these are some crazy engagements, but it seems like Vici Gaming just has the advantage in all of them. We will see an aggressive stance from Hao on the bottom tier 3. He'll get stunned once, but Air's the one caught out. Out of mana, out of life. Adaptive strike just doing so much work here. Dragon Tail on Kaka, and the death for him. Ice will push the tier 3s, but very slowly with his current HP pool. He's going to TP out and replicate back, so he's got to keep this bounty hunter alive.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
And meanwhile, the tier 3 will fall in mid, so I kind of feel like they should stop splitting it. Oh no, the replicate! Oh, Ice gets it back just in time. Doesn't get his full mana pool, but gets quite a bit. And yeah, they're kind of dividing the forces for some reason. Now they're actually pushing on one lane, which seems to be the better plan of action. We're going to see the charge in. Super Bob to BKB again. Short cooldown here, and they're just destroys the SMJ. Glimmer Cape again. He'll be bailed out. Really good Glimmer Cape usage from Pretty Hot, but now looking at Westbrook. He's going to get caught out by the Lance, the Urn, and now will be going down. And Ice doing some really good work. Killing spree for him. Hao is on a monster kill streak. And we're looking perhaps at the end of the game here. They're fleeting Hao. It's a double kill for Hao, wiping out 3, looking for the racks, looking for the GG. It's been a little bit up and down since about the 15-minute mark, but now Vici Gaming pull ahead with a cleared edge, and they will pull forward in this series 2-0. The GG hasn't come out yet. The HCT are trying to hold their ground, but it's just so difficult here. The hybrid's about to come back up. The adaptive strike is always there. And this Aghanim Scepter just hasn't done enough because ZSMJ Stampede. So, the last hurrah, the last stand coming out with Selena respawn, it would look like, as they need to hold at least one of the 2 racks down bottom. Looks like Melee's gone already. The Corrosive Breath taking it down, and Ice replicates the Dragon Knight. You get it one way or another. He'll replicate it for now, he'll hybrid it later. He loves to have that extra dragon on his team, and actually ZSMJ missing the stun completely. Air popping the BKB pretty early here, but look at the control. Pretty Hot is locked out of the fight completely. Now super solid stuff, bash down, but he has BKB and the Silver Dead still in play. FY gonna get nuked. Really good nukes coming there. We're gonna see on the back end of it, Morphling just trying to heal everybody up, but not able to do enough. Wow, where is this fight going? Super finishes off ZSMJ. Kaka gonna be able to kill off Super. Oh no, he's just on the run. The Glimmer Cape keeps Super in the fight as he will, and he's just gonna turn it back around with the Breed Fire. Air going down. This is their last stand. This is their last chance, and that is it. It's gonna be the GG. I didn't even see what Ice was able to hybrid in that one, but whoever has Guardian Screws, I think he's hybrided, but I'm not sure. So, anyways, really. Yeah, I think he hybrided Io. I don't know, but no matter the case, that was a hell of a fight from Vici Gaming. That was incredible showing from the versatility and the new meta strats coming into play. I really love to see the way they played the Morphling there. They got aggressive with the Wisp as I thought they were going to on the bottom lane. They